So we're back for part two of our conversation that is inspired by the Keke Palmer Oprah Winfrey interview. And the last section that we were talking about was knowing your worth. And we talked about the idea of self-worth, whether it was something that you discover or whether it's something you decide. And there is something else that but we also said, can success exist without self-worth? I don't
Ooh,
think we got to that one yet,
yeah,
but I think that was one I want
yes,
us to
for
touch
sure.
upon that. um can success exist without self-worth? What do you think about that?
Absolutely not. I don't think
mm,
so. Absolutely
mm,
not.
mm.
I can definitely say that my self-worth before I went on this inner journey, it was not there. And if
Mm-hmm.
it was very low. And so
Mm.
part of the reason why I honestly stopped promoting my business because I think my self-worth wasn't there.
Mm.
And so there was no way. And I've been trying to start this business for years. And
Okay.
since I kind of put the business down and I've been working on myself, now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to show up. I can promote, and it's authentic. But I really don't believe that you can be successful without knowing your self-worth because there's
Mm.
boundaries that you have to have in place, and if you don't have those boundaries, you'll end up doing anything and just not being happy. But yeah, for sure, I don't believe that you could be successful without self-worth.
I hear that.
How do you
I
feel?
hear that. I feel like, so when I think about success,
Mhm.
and like how I was saying before, I kind of think about it as a feeling, because there are people because some people objectively,
Hmm.
I'm looking at them and they look successful to me,
Yeah.
but they may not feel successful. And
Right.
so when you talk to them, they don't feel successful. Just like I
Mhm.
could look successful to so many people.
Yeah.
And in many, many areas, I would probably like downplay it. Maybe I
Yeah.
would downplay it. And then for some reason I don't feel successful. So I'm like, is it more of the feeling or more of the outward, like some people might say, outward accoutrements, outward, you see the awards, you see the blah
Accomplishment.
blah blah.
Yeah.
Yes. um so
Hmm.
that's where I'm just like, can it exist without self-worth? Well, if you're down on yourself all the time, why would what's your incentive to seeing anything that you do as successful? Because
Right.
you won't feel it. So it's similar in many regards to what you're saying. If one were to look at success as a feeling
Yeah.
versus all these things that somebody may not even care about because they're
Exactly.
not happy, because they feel down on themselves, so therefore they don't feel successful.
Right.
So
Mm.
it's an interesting I mean, I like that question. I
Yeah, I
like that
never thought
question
about that.
because when I tie it back to Oprah,
Hmm.
when that situation happened with the guy she was dating, one of the reasons he said that to her was because she was already on a local news station. So she started to become kind of known in
Yeah.
the town where she
Yeah.
was. And so maybe he was a little bit jealous of that or whatever,
Mhm.
seeing her light shine in just the small town news station. And then she kind of was putting herself down, you know,
Yeah.
lots of people would look at that even at that time and say, you're successful.
Right.
Maybe he's a little jealous of your success, but not too sure how successful she may have felt at that time. If she felt, you know what I mean? Not too sure.
Yeah.
Something was still missing.
Yeah.
Something was still missing. So I guess it's just another reminder of it has to truly come from inside. And
Exactly.
there's a lot of things where people would look at and say, the person feels successful, or somebody else would look and think that somehow it's not successful. But
Right.
if it's right for them, it's successful.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're confident and
Yeah.
they're happy. Why isn't that also considered to that's successful for them?
I think that it's all about, like you said, the self-worth, because it's almost like you need that external validation. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe Oprah didn't feel that maybe at that time in her life, being so young and actually
Mm-hmm.
being successful, she still was thinking that her self-worth was still pointing to needing external validation. And I
Mm-hmm.
can definitely relate to that, because if you still need external validation, then you won't see your self-worth, then you won't even see your own success. So it's
Yes.
kind of like, a cycle, but I think that and also it depends on what you consider success. Is it a feeling,
Mm-hmm.
or is it just an accomplishment, a reward, or
Mm-hmm.
is it the monetary gains that you get? So,
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's just so many variables with that, but I honestly
Yeah.
believe that um, if you're seeking external validation, then your self-worth might not be where it needs to be for you to see your own success. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. For me, it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next one here says, and it's all under knowing your worth. Why do we attach our value to accomplishments?
Hmm.
It's
That's
an interesting question. I,
hmm.
I feel like society kind of teaches us to do that,
It does. For
um,
sure.
making us feel like you have to compete, you
Yeah.
have to win,
Mm-hmm.
like win at something. And therefore, if you win, we put you in a placement,
Mm-hmm.
make you feel like you're above or below.
Yeah.
And then we try to say, if you are number one, we're going to put this person up on a pedestal and treat them like this. If you're number 10, then no special treatment for you. So I don't know, just like society kind of teaches us that somehow the external things, like you were saying,
Yeah.
valuing the external things versus, maybe even if it was just a small increment of improvement
Mm-hmm.
that was made, celebrate that as well.
Yeah. I agree. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, you cut out
So,
there for a little bit. Um, yeah, no,
oh, sorry.
yeah, no, I think for some reason it was just a little bit of a lag here on my side, but I definitely agree. I would definitely say that society is placed that type of pressure on us to attach our values to our accomplishments. I also think that, we have so much access to information, social media. We see what everyone else is doing, and it can
Mm-hmm.
take over and make us feel like, okay, well, we're not where someone else is. And so then that kind of makes us diminish our own accomplishments, and our own progress. I know that I've been a victim to that before. So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
we're online, we have, friends, we have coworkers, we have so many people around us, and then you see someone else just moving forward, or they're where you want to be, and then all of a sudden you kind of look at yourself and your accomplishments and just diminish it. So,
Yeah.
I do believe that it's society. I believe it's, the level of access that we have to, information and all of the things that can
Yeah.
kind of, shake our values and our accomplishments. And I think, yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Well put. Well put.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Um, So the next set of questions falls under the topic of waiting until you're ready,
Ooh.
which is very, very fitting
Ooh. I love
for
that.
our lives right now. Being a part of the 30-day visibility
Mm,
challenge, the
mm.
cohort one.
Ooh.
Shout out to cohort one.
Yes. Yes.
Um, Renee Coakley, we're so grateful for being in
Oh,
this
yes.
group.
Yes.
Um, First question under that for us to kind of analyze is, what have we delayed because we didn't feel ready?
Ooh, I feel this question for sure. Um, for sure. I have been trying and trying and trying to show up online. And I just
Yep.
could not do it because I did not feel ready. I did not feel ready. So I tried to take the easy route and I was like, okay, you know what? Let me post on Threads.
Yep.
Let me put a picture up on
Hmm.
Instagram and let me hide behind, Substack probably. And because I did
Hmm.
not feel ready. I did not want to be seen.
Hmm.
I just could not,
Hmm.
fathom people looking at me and, hearing my voice. I couldn't
Same.
even fathom seeing me sitting on camera and hear my own voice. So I did
You're
not feel
hilarious.
ready. Yes. So I
Okay.
think that I delayed really going full force with my business and just, even just growing and developing as I've been planning to for years. I think that I've delayed that as well because, I just didn't want to be seen until this
Hmm.
challenge, again, shout out to
Yep.
Renee Coakley for
Yep.
this program, the Build Your First Option
Yep.
program, because
Yes.
I cannot believe that we are sitting here on camera pushing through, So
We
we're
are
doing it.
on camera.
Yep.
This is all just like, wow.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the summer, I would not have thought
Mm-mm.
that this would me doing this. No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
just like you said, I was afraid to show up,
Mhm.
afraid to be seen. And if it this, and you talked about it in one of your videos, like perfectly, like a combination of supports, everything came together at the right time.
Yeah.
This could be done. And I am just so appreciative because, and
Thank
I'm still working through things,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still working through being seen, everything, similar things to what you were saying about your business. It's like, I have the candle business.
Hmm.
I'm not visible on Instagram like me.
Yeah.
Like my business is out there,
Yeah.
but not me.
Exactly.
Even though I've met some of the people in person, I'm still afraid to put
Hmm.
me
Yeah.
on the business. So the business could have gone a lot further if I
Yeah.
wasn't afraid of putting myself out there. And
Right.
there were so many instances. I think I talked about, like, I had a presence on TikTok in which they didn't see me at all. They were developing a relationship with me
Yeah.
through my business, never hearing my voice, never seeing my face, just maybe how you're messaging in the chats and me sending products to people within notes, but they never me though,
Never
never
tell you.
seeing.
Wow.
So always sort of hiding somehow,
Yeah.
even if I was communicating a lot,
Hmm.
and making a lot of friends. And but there is nothing like doing it like this.
Yeah.
This is as real as it
I
gets, in my
know.
opinion. Like, this is when people see me walk around and I'm just gonna post stuff. Like, half the
Yeah.
stuff I'm posting, I don't like the way
No,
I'm looking
me
at. I
neither.
don't love the way I would be picking myself apart all day. That's why I'm like,
Yes.
just post it. I don't even want to look at it
Me
again
neither.
because I probably end up taking it down and being like,
Yeah.
this is not for me. But
Yeah.
I'm really trying to do something different than I've ever done.
Yeah.
And I know it's the same for you. Even but waiting until ready,
Yeah. It doesn't
it,
exist. It
no.
doesn't exist. And I'm learning that just by this challenge because the level of fear that I had posting my first video a couple of weeks ago. And then once I posted it, it was like, wow, I would have never thought that that's the moment where I realized that I would have that waiting till you're ready does not
Mm-hmm.
exist. That was the
Yep.
first time I realized that after I hit post on my first
Yep.
video. I'm like,
Yep.
wow, I would have been waiting forever if I would have
Yep.
waited until I was ready.
Yep.
So yeah, it just doesn't exist. And so I think promoting my business and actually starting my business was a delay. But then when I really sit and think about how much I've probably delayed, other areas of my life just because
Mm.
I don't want to be visible and I don't
Yeah.
want to be seen. I haven't even
Yep.
thought to sit with that. So,
Listen.
eventually I need to, but I haven't even thought about that. So, yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
that leads us into the next set of questions of
yeah.
that topic. and we touched on it, how many opportunities are lost waiting for confidence.
Mm.
And you know, does confidence come first or does action create confidence?
Ooh, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Yeah,
We're
we're
doing
doing it.
it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to go with the action creates confidence
exactly.
because we could be confident all I could be confident all day in my journal.
Yeah.
I've been confident for decades in my journal.
Yes. And just talking about it with friends and everything. It's
Mm-hmm.
so easy to be confident when you're talking about it, writing in your journal, but it's nothing beats when you actually do it. Action just kind of just
Yeah,
takes over. So yeah, I definitely
yeah,
feel like confidence or action comes before confidence because again, I wouldn't be here if I would have waited for my confidence to show up. Confidence actually came
right.
after I posted my first video. And then it just kind of grew as
Yeah,
I continued to post.
yeah. And I agree with you as far as when you talk about other opportunities that were
Hmm.
lost, waiting for confidence.
Yes. It,
I can imagine that job opportunities were lost because
oh yeah.
I was maybe afraid to
Yeah.
network. Let's just skip to what advice that we would give our younger selves.
Okay. Um, so if I could sit with my 25-year-old self today, I would definitely tell her to not be afraid to be seen and be visible because so many things come out of that. It's just, I think it's who you find yourself. I don't know. It's just something about this level of confidence that you get, and it doesn't just radiate or it doesn't just apply to your business, but it applies in so many
Mhm.
other areas of your life. And it's to me my identity. And I think that I would have
Mhm.
not been so afraid to be seen and visible, when I was younger. That's how I would see it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
How about you?
I think that I would just tell myself, you're doing the best that you can.
I love how you would tell your younger self to do the best that you can. And I would tell my younger self, don't be afraid to be seen and visible because you really find your true self, when you're
Yes.
not afraid to show up. Because like
Yeah.
we discussed earlier, there's opportunities that are missed just because of, just waiting until we're ready. So, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
What are we doing? How are we on time?
We
How are
have
we on time?
a little bit, we have 3 minutes, 3 minutes
Okay.
and 20 seconds.
All right. We have another question that falls under the cost of pleasing everyone.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's,
When did you realize you couldn't live for everyone else's approval?
when did you
Yep.
realize that you couldn't live for everyone else's approval?
Mm-hmm.
When I started to discover what I truly wanted for myself. And I'm like,
Yes.
how come I just decided this? Like, where did this come from? That couldn't have been something that I just thought of today, but I realized that I was ignoring it all the
Mm-hmm.
time. So, I'm living
Mm-hmm.
for someone else's approval, so I altered what I wanted. So I think
Yeah.
the moment when I realized that, well, this is what I want, and it doesn't align with what everyone else
Yeah.
wanted, that's when I realized that all this time, I didn't just arrive to this. It just means that I think that I have been suppressing what I wanted because I was looking for someone else's approval or just altering what I wanted, based off of someone else's approval. So, yeah. How about you?
I realized I can't please anybody. I have to
Mm,
focus on pleasing myself. I thought that it was possible, but
yeah.
it really isn't.
Yeah.
If people are not happy within themselves, they just have to fix that on their own. We can't make them
Mhm.
happy. We can't make them proud. We
Yeah.
can't make them, they have in their mind their own idea of what makes them happy. We
Yeah.
have nothing, that's like none of our business, nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow, that was good, Keisha. I like that. I love that. I
Thank
want to
you.
take that for myself too, because that I love that. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh yeah.
Well, this was great.
Yes, it
Connie,
was.
thank you so much. I loved it.
Me
We're going to
too.
see if we can salvage what we can salvage. We play it back and there's not a lot of, issues,
Okay.
then it's good to go. Yes.
So,
Yes.
so thank you so much, Keisha.
Thank
This was
you.
so good. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Connie.
You're welcome.